Hey guys, what's up? Today I decided to make one of those videos about frequently asked questions because I do get a bunch of them every now and then on the comment section, and well, I gathered 20 questions that are what I consider the most frequent of all. Of course, if there's a question that you want to ask and it's not here in today's video, feel free to do so in the comment section. I always try to reply to most people, especially when there are these kinds of questions. So let's begin. Let's begin. Frequently asked questions. So on some of these questions I'm going to try to be as concrete as possible so as to not drag on this video too long, and on others I'll go into detail. In some other questions I have replied to those questions in a video, which you will be able to see at the end of this one. Anyway, let's begin. I have here all the questions on my laptop. So the question that I get the most, it's pretty normal. Every time somebody asks these questions, I don't get mad because it's normal. I mean, people want to know, where am I from? So the first question is, where are you from? I'm from Mexico. That's right. I live in a city called Guadalajara in the state of Jalisco. That's right, I'm Mexican. Which often leads to another question, which is question number 2. Why is your channel in English then? Or why don't you make videos in Spanish? Well, I did. This channel was originally in Spanish a long time ago. I used to do short films, and then I used to do music, but that was just it. And then I started making, back in 2014, no, 14 or 15, I started making reviews of RPGs actually in Spanish, but they were very, extremely amateurish, 100 times more amateurish than my current videos, 1,000 times. You can actually see them if you go to another channel called Discusión Gamer. It's my channel in Spanish that I have with another friend of mine. And I uploaded those videos because I took them down from this channel and I re-uploaded them on that other channel just to archive them, if you catch my drift. You can watch them, judge for yourself how bad in quality they are. Anyway, the point is that it never worked. You know, I don't consider myself a good reviewer, and I realized by making those videos, so I said, nah, I'm sort of like the kind of guy who likes to share his opinion, his subjective opinion, subjective facts, subjective everything, and just share and make lists and provide, awareness on some underrated RPGs or unknown RPGs. That's the point of my channel, and I thought if I continued to do this on Spanish, I'll never be successful. That's what happened. That's why I turned this channel into English, and that's why I don't make videos in Spanish. So I can have, in conclusion, a more wider audience, internationally speaking. The third question that I get a lot is, what's up with that doll? With this doll? Well, there's a lot of story involved. Let's just say that I am a writer. For those who don't know, I am a writer. I write books. I self-publish all of my books. And one time I self-published these 2 books, which I'll call, these are in Spanish. They're called in Spanish Infierno Nix. Let me just show them. This is part 1. And this is part 2. And the translation to English to these books will be Nix Inferno. Sounds cool, right? I don't know, like Dante's Inferno. Anyway, back then I was going to anime conventions as an invited artist, or just with my table there to sell my books. And I wanted to have some kind of mascot, some kind of figurine, some kind of something to promote the books other than just a display or a poster. And when I was when I had a shop, a reselling shop. By the way, question number 4 is, are you a reseller? I'll get into that later. I was a reseller back then of video games, video game reseller. And my shop used to be in a mall, and then I had these neighbors who were, it was a sewing shop. So there was a sewing teacher there, And one time I just befriended the teacher, and I went there and I saw this doll with another dress, and she looked different, but she was red hair. And I said, man, that could be a good idea, because after all, after this character you see here in the front cover, which is Nyx, there is actually a doll involved in these books. So that was just perfect, you know, to promote the books. And I told her to change some things, like the dress and these kind of bracelets here, blah blah blah. And in the end, it turned out to be this character here, this doll here, and she was just made to promote the books. However, when I turned this video to English, she was just kind of there in the background on some of my videos. That was not intentional. That was just like, well, she was just there, you know, and people started liking her and asking questions, and eventually she became sort of like a mascot, not only for my books, but for this channel as well. That's the whole story about this doll. So are you a reseller? Yes, I am, but I would like to say that I'm about to quit. I'm on my last days, that's right, days, as a reseller. I have been a reseller for over 9 years. Wow, that's right, 9 years reselling video games. That's a really long story. I have told that story in like 2 or 3 videos, I believe. Make sure to watch them. And to make things short, the answer as of today's video, as of this video, is yes, but maybe in a week I'll stop. I want to turn this channel and my writing into my 2 full-time jobs, and I still have a lot of things to resell. And once I get rid of all of my merchandise, I'll just do this full-time if I can. If I can't, then I'm gonna have to go back to reselling or just find another job. But it's a long story. I don't want to be a reseller anymore because the market in Mexico is just horrible. And I mean it, just horrible. I'll get to that later. Next question, do you play all RPGs on easy mode? Now that's kind of an infamous question I've been getting, not too often, thankfully, but some people are just like, what? He plays on easy? You know, those elitist people? Well, some people ask this question very friendly, not with a bad intention, which I appreciate. I always appreciate when you guys are not pretentious and just ask the questions like they should be. And yes, the answer is yes. I do play all my RPGs on easy mode. I have made 2 videos in which I have talked about this particular topic. You can watch them. Just type easy mode Erick Landon RPG and you'll see the videos called easy mode versus normal mode versus hard mode versus nightmare mode. Pretty fun video, but the explanation is in there. Do you have a Twitter account or Instagram? No, I don't. I used to have an Instagram account. I used it for like 3 days and I was like, it sucks. It's just not for me, guys. Twitter, no. I'm just not exactly a social media guy. I have a Facebook account, I have my YouTube channel, and I have a blog. That's it. That's all I want to have. Well, if you count, it is a social media, the Discord channel that I have exclusive for patrons, and Patreon, the website itself. Those could be my other 2 social media websites, but other than that, nope, no Twitter, no Instagram. And the next question is, do you stream on Twitch? No, not yet. I do want to stream on Twitch eventually, but for now, just YouTube. What kind of equipment do you use? Well, my camera, obviously I can't show it to you right now, but it's a Sony HD Handycam AVC HD Progressive with 8.5 megapixels. And well, I use my laptop, it's a Toshiba. I didn't use this at the beginning. I had a really shitty laptop, a notebook actually, really small red laptop, HP laptop, and I have had that laptop for like 6 years when I started making those videos. If you go and watch my older videos from May 2018 and before, in some of those videos, I mean, the quality is not as good as it is right now, and the editing is just not as good. There's in some of the videos there's a sound like shh, like a fan. That's the laptop's fan because I didn't have I couldn't record on the laptop's microphone properly. So yeah, long story short, it was a shitty laptop. Now I have this. It's not as good, but it's better. I mean, it's not as good. It's good. It's more good than the previous laptop, but it's not that good. I need a new laptop, I need a new camera, I need new equipment to make more quality videos. Any tips for this or that game? I do get that question a lot. I don't like giving tips because I play most of our RPGs on easy if they have the easy mode. Some of them don't have it and they're quite hard. And I don't like giving tips on any sort of video game because I always encourage people to just play the game on their own and have their own opinion and just find their own way to beat the game. And in any case, there's a lot of walkthroughs on the internet. I'm not a tip guy, you know. I kind of suck at games, so I don't think I'm the best guy to give tips to anybody. Next question. Why don't you ever put the songs you use in the description? That is because I always, except for my intro, which was made by the legendary Sultan, I always use licensed music. I mean, music from RPGs, always. It's extremely rare when I use songs that are on license or anything like that. I always use that. So I'm kind of afraid to put the songs in the description because I always think that will trigger the companies and then get my videos demonetized. I don't want that to happen, so that's the reason. I'm sorry. And the next question is very similar, is why don't you put the RPG list of your top 10s in the description? First of all, because people are so goddamn lazy nowadays. Most people don't watch the full videos, and if they go into the video and just see the list there, what's the point of watching the video? They're just curious to know what games are on the list or which ones made it to the first places, and they don't watch the video. That's the only reason. I know people do watch the full videos and want the list so they can come back later to the video and to search for the games and download them or just buy them and all that stuff. And I agree with you, that will be totally helpful, but then I will be feeding all these lazy people that I don't want. Next question. Is this your day job? I already answered that. Not yet. I'm getting there, but not yet. Sorry about the birds. I don't know if you guys can hear them. It happens. Next question. Do you play on Steam? I get that question a hell of a lot. And the answer is no. I can't play on Steam because this is the only computer I own, and this laptop is a 3 RAM memory, 3 gigabyte memory laptop, and it doesn't run properly Steam games at all. I can barely emulate Game Boy Advance games here. Like, come on. But I have nothing against Steam. I would love to start playing on Steam someday, so maybe someday, eventually. Are games expensive in Mexico? This question is related to another question on to why I don't want to be a reseller anymore. It's a long answer. Well, I'll promise I'll make a video. This question merits a video, I believe. People do want to know what's the market like in different countries. I want to make a video about this question, but to make things short, Mexico doesn't assemble or produce their own video games. Most video games, like 90% of video games, are imported from Japan or from the US. That means prices are a little more expensive than what they are in the US. For example, if a game right now in the market is a $30 game in the US, in Mexico it's gonna be like a $50 game, between 40 to 50. And does that answer your question? I don't know. I think it does. They are expensive in Mexico, especially consider the minimum wage here. It's not even half a dollar, man. I think it's half a dollar nowadays as of to this 2019. Yeah, half a US dollar. That's the minimum wage here. So yeah, I think games are expensive in Mexico. Very. What's your favorite RPG of all time? Chrono Cross. What's your favorite Final Fantasy game of all time? Final Fantasy IX. I don't know why I get this question a lot. I mean, by now people should have realized that I'm not such a big fan of Final Fantasy, but it happens, you know. I do like this game and I love the heck out of it. It's my favorite, Final Fantasy IX. What's your favorite non-RPG of all time? Your favorite video game that's not an RPG? That's a really tough question to answer. I am planning a video on my top 10 favorite video games that are non-RPGs, but I haven't uploaded it because I haven't made it because I just can't decide. I need to properly think about it and decide. But right now, I don't have a favorite game of all time. That's not an RPG. Last two questions. What books influenced your writing? Obviously, this question comes from people who are interested in my writing. And, well, my favorite book of all time is called The Winter of the Fisher. I have it in a compilation. I don't have it here. The Winter of the Fisher by Cameron Langford. He was a writer from Canada, only wrote 2 books and died. And that's a book about a Martha and the lifespan of a Martha. It's an animal, sort of like a weasel. And it's just a beautiful book. If you haven't read that book, I strongly recommend it. It's a really short book, 100 and something pages long. It's beautiful, it's beautiful. That has had a strong impact on my writing. And well, obviously my main influence on writing is RPGs. All these scripts that I keep reading on every single RPG that I played has influenced my writing to an extent. And I have here what I consider to be my favorite writer, my favorite author, and that's Anne Rice. You know Anne Rice for Interview with the Vampire, you know, Lestat the Vampire, Queen of the Damned, The Vampire Chronicles. Fortunately, I have these books in English. I always prefer to read authors on their original language. So Anne Rice and her Vampire Chronicles have influenced a lot my writing. So I don't know, combine the Vampire Chronicles with RPGs and with a million other books that I just can't get into them right now, and you get Erick Landon RPG literature. That's right. Last question. I don't get this too often, but I do get it once in a while, and that is, what are your favorite YouTubers? Because some people would like to know what other YouTubers influenced my channel, and I never thought that question was important. I was like, oh, I watch a bunch of YouTubers, so it's not that important, but now I realize the importance of it. Sorry. Well, my favorite YouTuber of all time is the Angry Video Game Nerd, also known as James Rolfe. That's his real name, and his channel is called Cinemassacre. He's my favorite because back in 2011 and before that, I didn't give a shit about YouTube. All I used that website for was for music and for just watching short films or animations. That was it. I was like, I didn't care about YouTubers or vloggers or whatever. And look at me, I eventually became one. And that's because I started watching the Angry Video Game Nerd. This friend of mine just one day sent me a video about the Cheetah Man. The Cheetah Man is a really infamous game for the NES. And I laughed my ass off. And I just paid attention because I used to make short films as well. And I paid a lot of attention to that video. I have never seen a video like that before. I mean, a YouTuber on the gaming community with gaming topics. I've never seen that before, and I was fascinated. You know, it was like, people can do this and actually win money by it, and they do this way and this other way, and they can make you laugh. That was the day I realized that YouTube was like the new television, the modern television. And anyway, long story short, I started watching video after video on his channel, and I eventually became a fan. I mean, I became a fan right away. So yeah, James Rolfe is a big influence on my channel, and it's also my favorite YouTuber of all time. But his channel as well, I mean, he uploads some videos with Mike and other guys there. So I'm a fan of the channel, not only on James Rolfe. I mean, Cinemassacre is my favorite channel. Other favorite YouTubers, Metal Jesus Rocks. I mean, of course, Hidden JRPG Gems. Come on, it's obvious. Metal Jesus Rocks. Some of the Metal Jesus crew, like Radical Reggie, John Hancock, and some of the girls, Kelsey and Kinsey. I watch them every now and then, mainly because they barely upload anything. They're not constant YouTubers like us, like me. And what else? I love GameSack. I don't know if you guys have heard of that channel. It's an amazing channel, really old channel. It's like 7 or 8 years old, I believe. GameSack, really good channel. I also watch, what else? Alpha Omega Sin, I'm a big fan. Unfortunately, he stopped uploading videos like over a year ago. He just disappeared. I think he's doing some streams on Twitch, but I'm not too sure. But I'm a fan of Alpha Omega Scene. I also used to watch JonTron when his channel was a gaming channel. Then he disappeared and came back with other things that I just don't like. I watched some of these new videos and nope. I'm a fan of the old JonTron. And you know, I could go on. And if you guys want to know what YouTubers I watch that are RPG oriented, I barely watch some because the ones that I like the most barely upload anything, or they have become more like news channels and they upload one video per week. So I'm like, sorry, but these are not among my favorites. I mean, I wish I could have a favorite RPG channel that isn't mine, but I don't. Maybe Hellfire RPGs, that's a good channel. Super Derek RPGs, Daria Plays RPGs, those are really good channels. What else? Shadow Elite HD, that's a really good channel, he's my subscriber. And that's it. Other YouTubers that I watch, Bob Samurai, his channel is anime oriented and he's a really good YouTuber, a really good vlogger. My respects, Bob Samurai, he's my subscriber, he will probably watch this. Cygnus Destroyer, the infamous or famous LGN Destroyer, I love his Innocent Until Proven Guilty episodes, I'm a big fan. And a bunch of others. And that concludes my video. Those are my favorite YouTubers. Anyway, guys, if you have more questions you would like answered, don't be shy. I don't mind, really. Ask them in the comment section and I'll try my best to answer them. And if you require more in-detail explanations of some of these other questions, like I said, I have made some videos. I'll try to leave some of them at the end of this one so you don't miss them, in which I go in detail or in depth on some of these questions or topics. So that's it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and share this video with your friends. And ask questions, don't be shy. See you next time.